Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Yes, I'm doing a whole range of odd subjects today as we wait for the announcing of the result from the Trump fraud case and anything else that might happen out of that. So entertainment only. Good news, the EU Orban has removed his opposition. The EU have approved $50 billion worth of aid to Ukraine. Now, this is not aid to buy weapons and munitions. This is aid for Ukraine so that they can pay their social security, so that they can buy their medicines, so that they can keep the teachers and doctors, etc., paid. So this is what this 50 billion is for, and it does free up other money from Ukraine so that the money that Ukraine is bringing in can therefore be spent on frontline. So they're not having to rob Peter to pay Paul. In other good news, the court case in the UK that Trump brought against the creators of the Steele dossier. Now, the Steele dossier was the uh, investigation and information that came out in regards to Trump's connections with Russia, etc., back during the 2016 election period. That case has been shut down because the judge, it wasn't that Trump lost it, it's just that he hadn't submitted his case in the time limit required. So I will call that a win. Okay, what I'm going to have a look at, the Swedish government. I was asked to do a reading on this. If you can hear in the background, my dishwasher's going, a neighbour a couple of doors down is water blasting. It's all happening in suburbia. So in Sweden, they have a monarch, a ceremonial head of state. I didn't look into it. I do wonder if it's like in Australia, we're still part of the Commonwealth, and our head of state is King Charles, whether it's similar to that in that they are ceremonial, but they do have some authority if the local government gets out of control. So they have a monarch, but they run their government similar to Australia in that the people vote for their representatives, and the party that gets the most votes of representative gets the most representatives in choose their prime minister, who is the head of government. So at the moment, what happens, the last election was 2022, not up for re-election until 2026. But what happened in 2022, you've got to remember that 2022 was when the far right movement, and it still is to a degree, but it's starting to lose its momentum and peter out, was sweeping across Europe. We're talking Le Pen, we're talking about Bannonesque, we're talking about Orban and Bolsonaro, and in other countries, in Italy, Spain, etc. It's when the far right, conservative, fear mongering protectionism was sweeping through Europe. So what happened was a moderate right party was elected to the most seats in the Reichstag, and I'm sure I've pronounced that completely wrong, which is the government house. Um, the moderate, they're moderate right. They call themselves the Liberal Conservative Party. If they're anything like the Liberal Party in Australia, they've just abused the name of Liberal. They're a moderate right party. They joined forces, I believe, with the Sweden Democrats, again, uh, appropriating a name, and the Sweden Democrats are a far right-wing party, and I believe also with the Christian Democrats, which are centre-right as well. So what's happened is the centre-right party, it's formed government, and the only way it can keep government is by joining forces with the far right. It's very similar in Australia, where our Liberal Party is basically the only way it could ever form government is because it's uh, connected to our national party, which is it's supposedly the Farmers' Party, but it's a really far right conservative group. Literally get 3% of the votes, but they control one of the major parties in Australia. Fortunately, that particular party is not in control at the moment. That's what's happening in Sweden. Is the tail is wagging the dog in regards to politics. Elected in during a period of far right momentum and fear mongering. So let's have a look. What's going to happen in Swedish politics? What's happening in Swedish politics? What's happening in Swedish politics? Show me going forward. Yeah, right. Well, in the past. Okay, thank you. Love it when my boys tell me it is literally the past. The offer being made by the Swedish Democrats, the far right wing, to form government with the Liberal Conservatives, the offer that was made in the past. I'm looking at the figures I'm using my mystical manga cards. I use particular decks because of the imaging. It looks like it's an uncomfortable alliance here, but neither party are particularly comfortable with this. We've got the liberal conservatives here with their higher number. We've got the right wing parties here making an offer. Yeah, make it just feels like an uncomfortable alliance. Here we've got their challenge is illumination and transparency. They were elected, it's very much like politics the world over, those that operate on the fear and the abuse of power. They're not bringing any actual policies forward, and when they get into power, they find themselves exposed. So that's their challenge at the moment, is that they've found themselves exposed and being seen for who they truly are. Foundation of this reading is Wheel of Fortune. It's a karmic moment. Karma coming and biting them on the bum. They won, now deliver. How do we do that without pandering to this far right wing? It's very much like the MAGA group in the House of Representatives in the US. It's a karmic has come and bitten them on the backside. They're finding themselves basically exposed. In the past, we've got the the Knight of Coins, mercenary actions. So you've got to remember that this was a period when there was Igor in the basement and bots in Moscow influencing social media. They were getting paid for doing so. They were getting paid for being mercenaries. There were groups in the country that were being paid for mercenary actions, but that's in the past. Crowning this reading, the World card. New chapter, significant ending of a cycle and the beginning of something new coming forward. And look at this through line, 3 major arcana. This is powerful energy for the government in Sweden at the moment. I'm thinking there is change coming. There is change coming for them because they've been exposed for who they are due to this past alliance. I suspect they were naive about that alliance, and they've now found themselves literally exposed and called to account. Karma's come for them. It's time to deliver. They can't deliver. They're rethinking is what I'm getting here. Queen of Swords. A new truth coming forward, a new truth being brought forward. Feminine energy, truth being brought forward. Externally for them. Oh, yicky, thigh deep in this swamp. So the current government under Alf Christensen is finding themselves thigh deep in the swamp, and that is being revealed. Dirty tricks, deals made, being revealed. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Internally, the strength of democracy, female strength coming forth, the hopes and fears. A decision needs to be made about a plan going forward on the world stage. The outcome, sabotage, abuse of power, betrayal. It's going to be burdensome for the ruling party. However, they've got this one stick here of a new plan. So I'm really getting this abuse of power, this betrayal, this deceit, this sabotage is going to be exposed. It may even be that the far right attempt to sabotage the government, and it's just going to be an unwieldy burden for the government, and they're going to pull a rabbit out of a hat and manifest something new. I am getting a real feel on this, and I'm going to have a look. I'm getting a real feel that the Liberal Conservative Party are going to break ranks and form a new coalition. Would I be wrong in that? I'm getting a real feel that they're going to break ranks with this far right. I mean, you haven't got another election for, 24, 26, another 2.5 years. I'm getting the feeling that they're going to break ranks with the far right and form a different coalition. So if you're in that neck of the woods, let me know who that might be with. Show me, guys. Is the Swedish Liberal Conservative Party what's going to happen to the Liberal Conservative Party? What's going to happen with the Liberal Conservative Party? Come on down, let's have a look. They are currently, the energies that they're stewing in at the moment is they are reaping what they sowed. There was some, I'm going to say, a carrot of financial reward for them that's not coming to fruition. They are reaping what they have put out there, and they're not happy with how it's going. Challenge is the Knight of Wands, volatile message coming forward for them. I'm talking about the Liberal Conservative. I'm not talking about the coalition at the moment. I'm talking about the Liberal Conservative. A volatile message for them being brought forward. Chaos, the foundation. What is happening in the Swedish government? It's going to be chaotic as the Liberal Conservative leader tries to pull these horses to draw in the one direction, try to bring the factions together. In the past, there was money changing hands in regards to this. Money changing hands. That goes with my mercenary card. Money changing hands that brought this about. Promises made. However, we have an end of the cycle here. Ten of Pentacles. Ending of a cycle. Stepping through into a new beginning. Oligarchical money having influence. Immediate future contracts and agreements are going to be exposed and seen. Contracts and agreements that they made, and externally for them is a justice card. Ooh, is something about these contracts and agreements going to be found to be illegal? The justice card, wow. They're going to have to defend themselves with the Seven of Wands there. And we have a halting in the hopes and fears, a suspension, a halting, sacrificial lamb perhaps also. So don't be surprised if Alf Christensen ends up being a sacrificial lamb in response to this energy here, because it is going to be next chapter moment. King of Wands, a new plan being brought forward by new energy in response to this abuse of power that is going to find itself exposed to a truth. Page of Cups, something unexpected coming out of left field in regards to this, that is going to cause a decision time. Really, really important decision time where the eyes need to be opened. They're going to see themselves thigh deep in this swamp and they need to make a choice. And then we have Queen of Wands energy, a softer, feminine energy being brought forward, new plan, going to be a tower moment where they literally explode this coalition so that it can be rebuilt. And then we have a new beginning of stability and security here for the voters. Okay, we've got the divorce card, the split. There's 3 parties that form this coalition, I believe. Going to be split, going to be divorced, and then there is going to be a new partnership, a new agreement, a new contract that will allow Sweden to move on to calmer waters. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles energy here. Stability, security, protection. Ooh, these are really interesting cards. The cards keep going in the same sort of energy. Knight of Swords, a harsh truth. 2 of Pentacles, a decision needs to be made. Poor choices in the past, choices based on greed and addiction. The Knight of Cups, a new offer coming forward. So I'm getting that the current coalition is going to be disbanded. I am suspecting Alf Christensen is going to be the scapegoat for it. Just 4 cards, please, guys. 4 cards. Will the Swedish government, will there be a new coalition formed before the next election? In Sweden, will there be entertainment only? In case I haven't done that already. Will there be a new coalition formed I'm going to say yes, walking away from what's not working. And then, now if you look at this particular deck, there's no one person in the background doing all the work and the other 2 are dictating to them. This is 3 working together. 3 working together is what I'm getting there, to form a new government. So I'm going to say yes. What I'm getting is that, it's going to fall apart, the current coalition. Alf Christensen is going to be the sacrificial lamb in regards to this, and I do see a new coalition forming. So let's see how it plays. Keep me posted. Love to you all. Take care.